Today I'm going to talk about a little anime show I fell in love with called Lupin III.
Lupin the Third, Lupin the Third, dava 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 da, Lupin the Third, Lupin the Third.
Okay, let's start with a little history. Lupin III was originally a seinen, or young adult, manga created by Kazuhiko Kato, but most know him by his pen name, Monkey Punch. First published in Weekly Manga Action on August 10th, 1967, Lupin III is about a master thief named Lupin III as a nod to the character of Arsène Lupin from Maurice Leblanc's book series and his misadventures with other crooks and the cops. It was only supposed to last 3 months, but became so popular that Monkey Punch continued to make more, and soon in 1969, a 12-minute CinemaScope pilot film was created by Tokyo Movie Shinsha, or TMS for short, to generate interest in a possible movie. But at the time, no one was interested in funding it due to its adult tone, as up to that point, almost all anime films were directed toward children. Later, around 1971, the pilot film was reworked as a TV pilot with a new voice cast, and done in a 4:3 aspect ratio. It was only then that television station Yomiuri Television picked it up for a 26-episode series and began broadcast on October 24th, 1971. Originally directed by Masaki Osumi, he was asked to make some changes to the show after the ratings came back poor after the first 2 episodes released. After he refused, he was replaced with Hayao Miyazaki and Isao Takahata. You may have heard of them. Just the guys who helped form Studio Ghibli and create some of the best anime films out there, under the name of 8 Productions, after their anime adaptation of Pippi Longstocking was cancelled. Several episodes Osumi was working on were finished up by 8 Productions, and later episodes would solely be done by them. Despite the change in direction, the series only lasted 23 episodes before being cancelled. It later gained popularity in reruns, which led to movies and a new reboot series to be created, which would later retroactively be known as Lupin III Part 2, and the previous series becoming Lupin III Part 1. The series revolves around Lupin III, a master thief, and his gang, who consists of his longtime partner and best friend, Daisuke Jigen, a master sharpshooter, Lupin's girlfriend, Fujiko Mine, who occasionally switches whose side she's on for her own gain, and later Goemon Ishikawa the 13th, a master swordsman who wields an unbreakable sword named Zentetskin and can cut through anything. Lupin's nemesis, Inspector Zenigata of Interpol, who relentlessly chases Lupin to the ends of the earth. No matter where Lupin is, you can bet Zenigata is not far behind. In the first episode, Lupin is shown to be an ace race car driver and a bit of an egocentric, goofy asshole, but gets toned back to not be quite as ruthless in later episodes. His partner, Jigen, is shown to also be an excellent racer and swaps with Lupin mid-race so Lupin can save Fujiko, who's been kidnapped by Mr. X, a scummy rich guy who set up this whole race to ultimately kill off Lupin. Ultimately, Lupin rescues his girlfriend, but not without being smug about it, and kills off a bunch of guys, including Mr. X, in spectacular fashion and outwitting Inspector Zenigata. The music by Takio Yamashita and Charlie Kosei is a mix of jazz and country and maybe like a tiny little bit of rock and roll. And it fits the series pretty well for the most part. Some of it's slow, some of it's more jazzy, but not most of the time not quite as jazzy as later series, as part 2. And it doesn't have the iconic theme of part 2 yet. But some of the songs are a little fit the scene well, or fit the situation well of the series. And other times they really don't, or they're unintentionally funny for like an English speaker. A good example of that is Nice Man, in which this song in English talks about how Lupin's a nice man, but sometimes he gets angry. And it's so cheesy in English as an English speaker. Have a listen.
Lupin is a nice man, but he's cool. You know, he uses waltzer. Yeah, the machine cries. Bang, bang. Yeah, he's the Lupin III.
So now we're going to compare episodes of Lupin III Part 1 to Castle Cagliostro and how it influenced it. Because once Hayao Miyazaki and Takahata were taking over, the episodes, if you watch it after having seen Castle Cagliostro, you can almost immediately start to tell that stuff, plots, set pieces, character, not necessarily character designs, but like the characters themselves, traits of the characters carry over from part 1 into Castle Cagliostro, which I found very interesting and wanted to share. So you can start to see this with episode 10, Target the Cash Counterfeiter, which Hayao Miyazaki and Sao Takahata took over from Masaki Asumi, where there's a clock tower, and you get to see Lupin navigating the inner workings of the clock tower. There's like secrets to it. He has to climb the clock face or go on the clock face. One of the bad guys has like a trap door that Lupin falls through, which is just like Cagliostro. And counterfeit bills that look really, really good. And even the start of the episode starts out very similarly with Lupin and Jigen celebrating some cash they got, but then Lupin figures out that they're fakes, and then they dump it, which is just like the opening of Castle Cagliostro. There's also episode 11, When the 7th Bridge Falls, which has this guy who lives in a castle and kidnaps a girl, threatens to kill the girl. Lupin doesn't do what he says, which is pretty similar to the Count Cagliostro, Count himself, and the fact that he lives in a castle. There's also the boat that goes into the underground dock under the castle. And Lupin also comforts this girl. And there's this pier scene of trading off the money for the girl, which is just like trading off the rings for the princess in Castle Cagliostro. Like in episode 14, The Emerald Secret, where Fujiko goes undercover as like a maid looking for this emerald to steal. There's also episode 16, Operation Jewel Snatch, which I think inspired like this one segment in Castle Cagliostro, where Lupin is vacuuming up some diamonds or jewels in this jewelry store, which he does in this episode too, which is interesting. Like, maybe it's like a callback or something. Then in episode 21, Rescue the Shrewish Girl. There's a girl who gets rescued by Lupin that, like, sort of is like Clarice, the princess in Castle Cagliostro. Kind of the prototype for a lot of girl characters in Miyazaki films later on, which is neat. If you're looking to watch this series, I believe it's streaming on High Dive with the English dub. Various other sites have it streaming just in Japanese with English sub, like Tubi or Crunchyroll, I think, has it. But if you want to own it on physical media, the company Discotek put out excellent DVD and Blu-ray release of the show, which you can find on rightstuff.com or amazon.com. Thank you to all the people who influenced me to make this video, inspired me to make it. Shout out to that Kodocha girl. She makes great videos. I'll have a link to all these channels in the description. She makes videos about, mostly about Kodocha, the anime Kodocha, but also sometimes Fruits Basket, and also has a podcast series about Kodocha, which I'll also link in the description. Thank you also to Caribou-kun, aka Shaybs, and I'll link his 2 channels below. He's an anime reviewer, talks about anime, and is currently doing live streams of talking about the anime encyclopedia, differences between 2 of the editions, which is cool. Both him and Kodocha Girl pretty encouraging about making this video, so that's awesome. Shout out to you guys. Oh yeah, also Caribou-kun actually works at Discotek. The Discotek guys are awesome, so thank you guys. Thank you to BobSamurai as well. He's currently been making videos about 1960s anime and is going to be doing a guide to it and going into the 70s yet. So that inspired me to make this video because it's pretty cool seeing all these different anime I'd never heard of before, and seeing the history, tracking the history of anime through the decades, which is cool. Thank you also to Cloud Connection. Cloud Connection has been making videos about Lupin III series, going chronologically through the whole series, which is cool. Reviewing all of them, saying his favorite episodes, all the shows and movies, which is cool. And Caribou-kun made a video about watching all of Lupin III. Sound like he binge watched the whole thing and maybe regretted it. Probably didn't actually regret it. I forget. I haven't watched the video in a while, but I'll post a thumbnail image here. But you can go check out his channel for that video if you want. And also check out Cloud Connection. Also have that linked, his channel linked in the description. Thank you to a few other people: Kenny Lauderdale, Kyoto Video, STEVEM. And also I want to shout out heyitscorinth for her video. So I decided to watch all the Lupin III movies. Just, it's kind of like Caribou-kun's video. But Yeah, that also inspired me. Link to that video in the description. And also Kenny Lauderdale, Kyoto video, and STEVEM. Go check out their channels. They got great content. All these people have great content. It's cool. I love it. Why am I still talking? I don't know. Hope you enjoyed. Feel free to subscribe or unsubscribe if you're subscribed and you don't care about this. And hit the like, hit the dislike, comment, don't comment, share it, don't share it. I don't care. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, hit the comment section. I'd like to know if people are actually enjoying this, because this is my first really heavily edited video. A little bit of a passion project, because I didn't notice anybody making a video like this. Comparing Lupin III Part 1 to Cagliostro, I mean, it definitely influenced it, but like no one talks about it. So, just thought I'd decide to do that. Yeah. Have a great day.